right, welcome in. Bettor's Last Stand. This is show number 50 here.
Oh, wow.
Coach Chris
Didn't know that.
and Matt. Yeah, we've reached a milestone.
Unbelievable.
Halfway to 100 as we continue to approach the college football season. We enter week 0. I know Coach is pretty excited about this. Maybe not so much week 0, but it's 1 week closer to week 1. So lots going on in the Pine Room. We had a really good weekend with the Rough and Rowdy and the Brew Fest, and won some awards and made a lot of contacts, had a lot of great content. If you haven't checked it out yet at the Pine Room Studios, Coach did an amazing job pulling out his Mean Gene Okerlund as he interviewed some of these fighters pre- and post-match. It was quite an event, really enjoyable. And if you're into, even if you're not into wrestling and boxing and that kind of stuff, I think you'll enjoy the watch. So, again, at the Pine Room Studios, well done by Coach. Great setup. And, again, thanks to Jerry Thomas and Jeff Doyle for bridging us to that, contact with Jerry, who does an amazing job as the fight promoter and the ring announcer, and the Barstool people were in town. And it was a really good event, and it was really fun for us. So, Mark, who knows what could come down the road, but we were happy about Friday and Saturday.
I really liked when I saw that clip today of, was it Bam Bam from Toronto?
Yeah. He
still seems pretty confident he's going to get that guy again.
It's incredible.
But his opponent dominated the entire match.
Yeah, actually knocked him down.
And then
he said, "There's no blood on me." There's no blood on me.
I thought you'd like those interviews, Chris. You would have had a ball down there watching that, because I try to do a little Mean Gene Okerlund stuff. Like,
just like
you were like stunned.
That was really those were funny, and I was amazed whenever you guys put that out about what's her name, the girl from Nashville, like. She had no notice. I mean,
Ireland.
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 I mean, and she pummeled that girl. That was so great. Knocked her mouthpiece out.
Yep, we had we saw some impressive fights.
Our
Pine Room people, the ones that we had on the show out at Gumby's on Friday. We actually should have been 3-0, but we were 2-0 or 2-0-1 really. But I don't know what happened in the Strawberry Cowboy match. But anyway, it was a great weekend for us. We're all, I mean, these guys especially exhausted. I wasn't able to make it Saturday because of my Rio job, unfortunately. But it was a long weekend and on all fronts, and we're ready to go though. We've got lots more on the horizon. Be sure and tune into our Friday football show, 12 to 3. Right here on the Watchdog. We're not actually on the Watchdog, but we're in the Watchdog studio. So listen up on the Watchdog, 12 to 3. Huge card of high school football. We have the Duggars Saucy Spread Challenge week 1. The picks are starting to come in. We'll have all those. We got 14 participants. We'll reveal those on the show on Friday. So be sure and tune in, 12 to 3. We'll be out at Gumby's in Elm Grove again. And then Jarrett, Jubb, and Cooley are heading down to do the beer mile with Soup in North Carolina. So there'll be more content coming out of North Carolina this weekend. Coach, you're probably going to lay low a little bit this week, huh?
Yeah, actually, it's one of the few weekends. Actually, it'll be the last weekend that I have nothing to do. Well, nothing to do because I've got a lot of stuff to do at home. But
right,
but it'll be relaxing. I'm excited for week 0. Got a few nice picks I like for week 0. Not a whole lot.
Right,
a couple games.
Yeah, card's not outstanding. But it gets the appetite going a little bit.
Even though it's not real good, you still can make money if you study him a little bit and look at him. I mean, you can find a couple winners in there. So
I agree.
And then for those folks out here who are excited for college football, we had a tight end coach from Ohio State, Keenan Bailey, on our show on Tuesday interview. So I believe, can they go and watch that, listen to that?
Yeah, the archive, and then Jubb, I believe, was going to put it in the podcast. So if you listened to the podcast yesterday, chances are you probably heard that interview, or at least parts of it. So Jubb was going to do that. And again, thanks to all of our guests, everybody that's joined us. We've had a really good run of people coming on our show in various roles, and then everything we did at the Rough and Rowdy as well. Got Large from Barstool to give us a good rating on our beer, and it's been good. We're rolling along here, and hopefully we continue to keep people satisfied and entertained, and maybe learning a little bit as well. So, all right, let's turn our focus to betting here. This is Bettor's Last Stand. We had a good week last weekend. We're up about 13 units, 12.6 to be precise. I finally had a winner in golf. Victor Hovland coming through for me at 17 to 1. Big score for us there. We're happy about that. It's been terrible for golf for the last few weeks, but got Victor in the win column. NASCAR-wise, we had some pretty good ones too. Sam was 2-1 with a couple of top threes. Chris, you had a nice one with Ty Gibbs in the top 10. And, Coach, you had one with Joey Logano. So everybody getting on the board last week with the winners. Our season-long bets again last year, we were 20 wins, 6 losses, and 1 tie or push. I'm going to post all of our best bets as we give them out each week. So if you miss some of them, I'm going to post all of those here as the football season begins, so you can get those in. I'll probably post the college ones tomorrow, probably tomorrow when you listen to this. Probably be on Friday, and then the pro ones we'll do the first week of NFL, just so people are aware of everything we have. And we went head to head in a few of these, Coach versus Chris, and I think me versus Chris last week in one of them. So it's been interesting. This has been fun talking football. Finally, it's been a little bit quiet. We had a lot of obscure sports that were tiding us over, but now it's time to go. So before we jump into our conferences and divisions, we're going to talk about the Pac-12 and then Notre Dame probably a little bit, and then any of the other small schools that anybody's interested in on college. And then we're going to go through week 0. Coach has a few picks. I know Schneidall gave out a big release that we'll remind you of here in a little bit. And then we're going to preview the AFC and NFC East. And Chris remarked to me the other day about he thinks these might be the best 2 divisions in football.
Yeah, I think so from top to bottom. I mean, I think the weakest team out of both of those divisions are the Patriots, but we'll get into that later. Yeah. But I think the NFC East, I mean, it looks obviously like the Philadelphia's the team to beat, but I wouldn't discount even the Redskins or the Commanders, whatever you want to call them. And I think Dallas, they got top 10 defense. So that's a coin flip, even though Philly's probably the favorite. But
lots of storylines in those divisions, that's for sure. Reminder again, Football Friday show, 12 to 3, Gumby's and Jill's the sponsor for that. We also have a really good thing going right now with Jill's Gentlemen's Club, as we are giving away VIP and general admission tickets to the Morgan Wallen concert on the 31st of August. So if you haven't entered that, you got 2 more days to do it. Get on our Instagram at the Pine Room Studios. Follow us if you don't follow us already, and put a message on there of who you're going to take to the show, and you can enter to win. So we have about 300 plus entries already, so it's growing quickly, and we're going to reveal the winners, the multiple winners. We'll have 2 winners winning 2 sets of tickets on, I believe, Monday. So we'll announce that on the radio show. Our 2 to 3 spot on Monday on the Watchdog. So lots going on, as we said, but let's not waste any time. Let's talk a little baseball right now. The Mariners right now, Coach, they have been hot, but you bet them today, and they're cooling down a little bit.
Yeah, they just scored a run here in the 8th inning, and they're in trouble. It's 3-1. They're down. I bet them on the money line. I bet them on the run line. So I'm probably going to walk away with 2 losers. I got the Pirates. I bet the Pirates to sweep the Cardinals. They're down 5-2. Currently in a rain delay. I got that game over the total too. So I'm not off to a very good start here on a Wednesday. But
yeah, well, baseball's tough, but football's right around the corner. Let me ask you guys, what are your thoughts on the AL West right now? This is completely flipped upside down. You had Texas a huge favorite, and everybody's saying all the Astros are struggling. Well, then it's completely reversed. Seattle gets red hot. Houston is still treading water. They're playing decent right now, and then Texas right now is leaking oil, to say the least. Chris, what do you think about this? Are the Mariners worth a look to win that division? Well, their schedule is very favorable going forward.
Well, they've won 8 of 10, and they're only one game behind Texas. And you know what I like most about this when you get we're about a month left is how each game, the closer toward the end of the season, with these teams so close together, how each game is just so like I just takes me back to when the Pirates were how every single game it was like a
up and down.
Yeah, you're sitting on the edge of your seat because in May and June
your scoreboard watching too,
right?
Exactly. Which you're not doing in May and June.
And the odds change very rapidly too. So if you see one team win 2 in a row, another team drop 2 in a row. I mean, a complete shake-up as far as the divisions go, and you can still find good prices out there. Our Cubbies are still trying to battle for the Central, and now you're looking at the NL Central maybe getting 2 teams in the playoffs.
Well, and Matt, when we talked earlier in previous shows about the AL, and NL Central, and it's pretty apparent that the NL Central is much better than the AL Central. I mean, Minnesota's only 4 games over 500, and they're 11 games up on second place Cleveland.
And they're beating Milwaukee
that's
right now.
That's pathetic.
Yeah.
That's pathetic.
That is bad. Cleveland's really fallen apart in the last couple of weeks. Just can't hit at all. No. And I think they're finished. So the Twins are going to win that by default. But if you're in the AL right now, you want to match up with the Twins in the first round if you can get them. That's got to be a favorable matchup for whoever gets in, whether it's the Eastern teams. Toronto playing pretty well right now. The Astros, Rangers, Mariners, whoever the teams that get in. Right now, who do you guys think? If you have to pick, who's the World Series representative out of the American League right now?
Oh boy, that's a tough one. I'm looking at the AL East. That is really changed. Not a lot, but Toronto's now 7.5 games out.
Yeah, they beat the Orioles last night.
Yeah, they beat the Orioles last night. Tampa's still hanging around. You fade Tampa.
I'm fading them. I still think they're going to miss the playoffs, but they've really got a easy schedule with a very good time for them. If they don't start beating the teams like the Rockies, they're going to be in trouble. But they may hang on.
There's some the teams that are hot right now. If they stay hot, like I look at the Diamondbacks. The Diamondbacks are red hot.
Resurgence now. Yep.
Yeah, they struggled for a while a couple weeks ago, but they are really playing good right now. They're probably, I would imagine, they're the hottest team besides the Dodgers, who lost yesterday.
Yeah, the Mariners and the D-backs have been the hottest 2 teams right now. I believe they both won 8 of 10. And
yes.
Then on the other side of the coin, you have the lowly Yankees.
Yeah, 8 straight.
And how about I saw this morning about how if they lose, I think they haven't lost 10. I think it's 10 straight or 9 straight
They've
now.
Lost 9.
Yeah,
9 in a row. So if they haven't lost 10 in a row since 1913,
good.
Like that is ridiculous. And this is the first 9-game losing streak since the 80s.
And they're losing to the Nationals too.
I gave that one out on the radio. Hopefully, some people listen to it.
I played them.
The Nationals are good against left-handed pitching.
I played the Nationals yesterday.
They're tricky. But the Yankees just continue to plummet. 17 games out.
I think Texas is going to be tough to beat in the playoffs, but that's the American League's. Well, both divisions are going to be really good, but the American League's going to be fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Go ahead, Chris.
No, I in the NL, I have a good feeling about the Phillies.
Really?
Yeah, I think they're going to. I mean, they're leading the wild card, aren't they?
They're up by 3.5.
They are.
I don't know. I just like them, and I think they can hit and.
They can hit. I'll tell you what's going to be their problem. Their bullpen and their defense. That will cost them. They had that good run last year, though. But in picking up Lorenzen, he's been very good for them. So I think they've done everything they can do to try to improve their team. So I give them credit for that. But their defense is really bad in that'll bite them.
Yeah, and you know what? You're right, because even little things like that defensively, that
you just can't give teams extra outs in the playoffs.
Or even little shit like missing a cutoff man, or just little attention to detail things that
I would say them and the St. Louis Cardinals have been the 2 worst defensive teams that I've seen so far this year, and. But I agree. The Phillies are pretty good. What do you guys think on the Marlins? They're clinging to life, but man, they're just I don't know. They just don't have a whole lot of pop. I think that could do them in. The Reds,
they're still only a game back.
They're hanging. All these teams are hanging. The Reds, Marlins, Giants.
I think the Reds are a team that are hanging on by a thread.
Yeah,
I just
I
they've lost theirs. Even though they won yesterday. They did win yesterday, right?
Yeah, they beat the Angels 4-3.
Beat the Angels 4-3.
They're playing the Angels,
and the Angels are just
they're an automatic fade. The White Sox are a fade. I had on the fade teams D-backs last week on here, and no, that's not the case anymore. So you see how quickly that changes. Things go.
Boy, the White Sox at the beginning of the year had high hopes, didn't they? And they just fired 2 executives, didn't they?
I don't know. They got something wrong with their clubhouse there. There's some issues there. I heard where you were talking about it, Chris, about some of the articles about the team, that guy that got traded from them. Said how horrible the chemistry is and how they just do whatever they want. And that's probably why everybody got mad at Tony La Russa, who, by the way, did you see him last night? I saw him in an interview. He looks like he's ready to die. He might be on that death index. He might be Jimmy Carter.
Well, you know what? And it's kind of ironic. That player that got traded from the White Sox to the Yankees, he was all excited because now the Yankees are just about as bad as the White Sox. I mean,
how about some of these Cy Young? Can you even say who's going to win the Cy Young in either league right now?
No,
I mean, it is totally up for grabs. There's not one clear-cut guy. If there was a guy that was dominating, he got hurt. I mean, Kershaw probably would have had a really good shot if he wasn't hurt. But there's just not anybody that's got a stranglehold on that. I assume the MVPs are pretty much done with Acuna and Ohtani. But yeah, Cy Young. I mean, if you have a hunch, anybody out there on a player that you think has a chance, you can probably get a decent price because there is so many guys that could be in contention because no one's dominating, and you got a lot of guys that were hurt. But I don't know. It's going to be an interesting next 5 weeks. Lots still to be determined, and you're going to see a lot of fluctuation in these prices as you head towards the playoffs. To make and miss the playoff numbers will basically, like Chris said, it so much hinges on one game. You have one issue, one little bad streak, and it could be the end for you. But we will see if we like anything future-wise as we get a little bit closer. If you have to pick the winner right now in the AL West, who are you guys going with? Rangers, Astros, or Mariners?
I'm Texas.
Texas?
Oh, yeah.
Chris, what about you?
Yeah, they've been there most of the year, if not all. So, yeah. And I like just that they're the surprise team. I mean, and nobody really talks about them all that much.
Yeah.
So, go Rangers. Even though they're 3-7 in their last
Obviously,
10,
Minnesota's going to win the Central, and then the East, that's going to be tough. I don't know. I don't know if Baltimore can hang on. I'm hoping they can beat Toronto tonight. I got them to win that series, so I might be in trouble there.
Now, AL Cy Young, looking at him right now, Garrett Cole minus 150. I don't see.
I hope that doesn't happen.
But you don't really have anybody pushing him. Luis Castillo, he's been okay. Gausman got lit up his last time. He pitches against the Orioles again tonight. George Kirby, you got two Mariners in there. You got Ohtani at 20-1. Maybe he takes both since there's not a clear-cut runaway winner. And then Zach Gallen in the National League, minus 105. Been great at home, but really, really average on the road. And then you got Blake Snell, plus 320. I still think Strider, with his strikeout numbers, may be the guy there at plus 350. But then you drop down to Logan Webb, who's horrible on the road, Justin Steele for the Cubs, and then Corbin Burns. So not a whole lot of runaway candidates in either one of these Cy Young awards. So
right.
Yep. All right. So any other thoughts on baseball, guys? You think that the Brewers are going to nail down now the Central? Is that going to be a done deal?
I'm not discounting the
Cubbies.
The Cubbies yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not discounting them.
Yeah, they're plus 240 right now. Second choice Reds all the way at 11-1 now. Can you imagine that? About 6 weeks ago, 11-1 on the Reds would have been unthinkable. Yeah. But that's how quick things can change in Major League Baseball. Change on one pitch and change from day to day. So we'll keep an eye on that. Playoff push is upon us. All right, let's shift our focus over to what everybody's talking about this week. It's college football. It's week 0. But first, we're going to go through Chris's favorite conference, the Pac-12, and see if we can't find a winner or two on the West Coast for the final installment of the Pac-12, pretty much, I think, as the mass exodus is happening in college football. Pac-12 will be lucky to survive. They're going to have
to disappoint.
But I think they've got some teams in there this year that can make some noise.
They do. They got a really good, top-heavy kind of league, but quarterback plays strong.
It's a shame that it's not going to be. It's going to be done. Something about the Pac-12 I've always liked. I don't know why.
It doesn't bother me either.
I know we don't like it because the games are on at late 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock.
I think 11. Their rivalries are the best of probably any of the leagues.
They got great tradition, really great tradition in the Pac-12. They've had some phenomenal players, and I think it's their league is as strong as any top heavy.
It's a shame. You're right, because this is like the best they've been in a long time.
I mean, Washington.
They probably got 5 or 6 teams that are very good.
Wow, Washington's going to be really good. I think they're going to win the league.
I have them too as my pick to win it.
Yeah, so they're going to take over USC.
Let's start at the top with USC plus 215 to win the conference. The Trojans bring back Caleb Williams, Heisman Trophy winner. Lincoln Riley, was this his second year, Chris? Or
I think it's his second year, yeah.
I'm not sold on this guy as a winning coach.
Yeah,
I think he's a
I'm not
great
either.
offensive mind, but I just don't think he emphasizes defense. The Cubbies win there 6-4, so that's a good one. USC, I just don't fear them. I fear them on offensively, but I don't think their defense will ever make enough stops. Same problem Riley had at Oklahoma when he gets to play the SEC schools, at Ohio State's even, and even the Clemson's. They can't stop them, so they're never going to beat anybody if they have it. I don't care how good Caleb Williams is. I think the Trojans win probably 9 or 10 games. I think they'll be very good, but I do not think they'll win this league, and I do not think they'll make the playoff. Chris, what do you think?
I don't think so either, man. And again, you talked about their defense. There's a lot of weaknesses, especially in the trenches. And we even saw it in the championship game last year when Utah just ended up tearing them up in the second half.
Right.
So they're going to score
and then
their
their
points.
bowl game, they lose to Tulane.
Yeah. I mean,
They could not stop Tulane the whole game.
I mean, the quarterback, probably the top guy.
Oh, he's good. He's really good.
And
but he can't
get their points.
I mean, unless he's going to play safety
right,
too. I don't see how they're
exactly
going to improve that much. Coach, you thinking the same thing with the Trojans? Good, but not great.
Yes, same way.
Okay.
I don't think they make the playoffs, and I think definitely Washington wins that conference.
I'm with you there. All right, let's go to the Huskies. 4-1 to win the conference. I really like this team. Liked them last year. This is a win total that I had along with Oregon State. Michael Penix, really good player. I actually recommend betting him for Heisman too. If this team makes the playoff, I think he has a great shot of winning the Heisman at 20-1. I like this coach DeBoer. He's done a pretty good job. And this team was solid last year. They're very good. If they can win some road games, they returned 14 starters. Win totals around 9.5. I think they win at least 10. I'm going to be recommending the play. Coach seems to be on board with the Huskies as well. Coach,
yes,
anything
definitely.
else that you see from them that you love? Their offense is very good.
Yes, a couple of tricky games. I got to go to Michigan State.
Yeah,
third game of the year. That's going to be a test. I think that'll be a test, and Oregon will be a test, and obviously USC is going to be a test. But other than that, well, they play Utah also, so they got a pretty difficult schedule. But I think they are going to be really good.
I agree, Chris.
Yep, I totally agree. I have them going over their win total. I think Penix is one of the best, and they got that. His wide out roam, how is I can't remember, Odunze, whatever. But yeah, they look poised to win it all, or at least the conference anyway.
Yeah, I think it's funny that all three of us like Washington, so that can't bode well.
Yeah,
so
Penix will be dead.
The listeners at home, Penix, he'll probably rip his quad muscle against Boise State in the first game. All right, let's go back a little and talk about couple of the other teams in the mix. Oregon right now plus 325 and Utah at 7-1. Either one of these teams do anything for you, Chris?
Yeah, I think Utah. Yeah. Oh, go ahead, Chris. Go ahead.
No, I mean their quarterback. What is it, Cameron Rising?
Yes.
Yeah. If he gets back to form,
now he is right now. It sounds like he is doubtful to play against Florida. So that's a definite concern. Now I really like that we're a little early on that, but I like under in that game. If he's going to be out, Florida's breaking in a new quarterback. I think that's a dead under game. Coach, what do you think about Utah? Good.
Well, no, I was going to say also, I think in the conference, I think Utah does have the toughest schedule, and they got road games at USC and Washington, and plus they got
to play Baylor at conference too.
Right,
I think they'll lose that game.
Their first two games are,
and they got to go to Corvallis too, and that's not going to be easy. Mm-hmm. Coach, what are your thoughts on the Utes?
They're really tough beginning of their schedule. Really tough. Florida, right out of the gate, who I don't think is going to be real good, but anytime you're playing,
but they got athletes, yeah,
right, and then got to go to Baylor. Jake Roberts will probably catch 3 touchdowns on them. Let's hope so. And then their fourth game's UCLA. So and then at Oregon State, really tough 4 out of 5 game beginning of the season. But I like them. I think they're going to be good.
They're well coached. I think they win at least 9 games. I think they'll be in the mix for the Pac-12 championship game. I don't think they'll be quite good enough to win the league, but I think they hang around if Cam Rising's back after this. They're going to have him against Baylor if they have any prayer. But he hasn't even started practicing yet, so that's definitely a concern. But I'm going to be going under in that game against Florida in the first one, especially if he's
good call.
If he's got a bad if he's not not healed up and with his ACL. So, what about Oregon, the Ducks? They're always a solid program, but they don't blow me away. I thought maybe 7-8 wins for them. Coach, what do you think of the Ducks?
Yeah, they won 10 last year, and I think they'll be good.
Bo Nix, back again.
Nix.
It seems like he's been around forever, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I like them again this year. That top half of that conference is really good. USC, Oregon, Utah, Washington, even Oregon State.
Yep. What do you think of that game 2 they have at Texas Tech? That should be a pretty good game.
That'll be a big test in your over under. Whether you're gonna make it or not.
Yeah, because if they can get past that game, then they're probably going to start out 5-0 when they go to Washington.
I'm just looking at that, Matt, and I think so too. And then that'll be tough. So they'll be challenged. Well, Texas Tech will be good, but they'll be challenged. I think they'll be 5-0 going into that Washington game, but then after that,
the back end of their schedule gets tricky though. Yeah, at Utah, then Cal. That's never easy. USC, at Arizona State, and then Oregon State.
Yeah.
So, but I do think the Ducks are a solid program, and they're never going to be a team that I would recommend to bet under their win total because they get athletes, and they got a veteran quarterback. So I think that they're probably a stay away from me. If you like them a little bit, buy low on them maybe and see what you can get. All right, let's go to Corvallis, stay in the state of Oregon. The Beavers, good win for me last year. They got over the win total by about 2 or 3 wins. So great season for them. They got this coach they have has done a really nice job. I thought their schedule was somewhat favorable. I thought they could come out maybe 4-0 before they play Utah, but at least 3-1. They get DJ Uliungalele from Clemson. I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but maybe he fits in all right in a system offense like that, maybe that runs the ball and has really good linemen. That's how they kind of make their that's how they kind of win ball games in Corvallis. Coach, thoughts on the Beavers?
A lot of good points there. Getting how do you say his last name?
DJ Uliungalele.
I think that helps them, but I don't know. They're going to be favored probably 9 or 10 games. Where's their projected win total? What's their total?
8.5, 9 is what I had.
8.5 is probably going to be right around there. They could. They could start out 4-0 going into Utah. So
I thought their schedule was pretty favorable. I really did. I thought some of the road games are against some of the bad teams.
Yes,
so maybe they can pick up wins. Chris,
I think they're going to go over, maybe just by a game. They do have Utah and UCLA at home, and
I would lean
Washington
over.
is home too.
I would definitely lean over. They're a team. I have a lot of respect for that program. I think they're a dangerous team if they're getting points. If they're going to be favored, like Coach said, and probably almost all of their games. So,
yes.
Coach, let's move along to your team from last year, UCLA. This was your top play in the Pac-12 last year. They got an absolute stud quarterback coming in Dante Moore. I don't know how good he'll be, but what do you think about Chip Kelly's chances this year? About 8.5 on his win total.
I absolutely loved him over the total, and I want to bet. I still haven't.
Yeah, I know. Where the hell is Lauren the Better? We got to reach out to her.
My T-shirt from Lauren the Better.
I know she's had a rough go of it the last few months with personal issues, but
okay. I loved them over. I don't like them over this year. I think. You got a true freshman at quarterback. That's asking a lot against a really good conference that's going to really pressure him. Anytime you get a freshman quarterback, they're going to come after him and make him very uncomfortable. So I don't like them over their win total this year. I don't think they'll reach. What do you got them at? 8?
Yeah, 8. You can find 8 and 8.5 out there.
I don't like them over their win total this year.
I thought 8 was the absolute ceiling for them, so I'll be staying away. I don't love an under either, but I think they'll be just right around that number. Chris, what do you think of the Bruins?
I have them going under, Matt. I mean, Chip Kelly, a good coach, but they've. He's not a great recruiter, but they say he does a fine job of digging into the transfer portal. But I think them losing. The quarterback, Robinson, and that running back, Charbonnet, that's big loss there. And like Mark said, with an 18-year-old quarterback coming in, and that's a tough ask. So I say they're going to go under.
Okay. How about some of these mid to bottom teams? Washington State California or Arizona. Any of those three teams stick out to you guys as maybe being sneaky, or do you think any of them will suck really bad and you want to bet their win total?
No, I don't have a good feel on any of those teams.
Chris?
I'm right around.
I got Washington State going over their total. Okay. I'm not really sure why I read up on them, and they're kind of like obviously an overlooked team in the Pac-12. But
okay, I like the Cal Bears. That's going to be next to Washington being my best bet. That's my next best play in the conference. Is the Cal Bears over 4.5? I think they win 6 games, maybe even 7. I thought their schedule turns up all right. I think they'll beat North Texas. I think they'll beat Auburn. I think they'll beat Idaho, and then they're going to lose at Washington. But then they got Arizona State and Oregon State. I think they'll split those two. Utah's probably a loss. USC's a loss. Oregon's a loss. But then they finished with 3 winnable games. I think they get to at least 6 wins. So I'll be backing the Cal Bears over 5.5 wins as my second.
Okay.
Not my best bet, but my second best bet. All right, now the bottom feeders. Arizona State, Stanford, and Chris, your boy Coach Prime at Colorado.
Prime, yeah.
Now, it seems like people are mixed on this. Everybody thinks either Colorado is going to absolutely suck or that they're going to surprise people and make a bowl. Coach, where do you stand with Coach Prime and the Buffaloes?
Absolutely hate them.
I agree.
I think they're going to be. I think they're going to struggle. They're going to get pounded at TCU out of the gate. I think they'll lose to Nebraska. Play at
rivalry game. That's
Colorado
tough.
State. Then they'll lose the war. They're gonna start out for sure 1-4, if not 0-5.
Oh yeah,
and then probably lose to Arizona State. So I don't see them winning 2 games. I'm serious. I don't see them winning 2 games.
That's
I think there's just too much hype that's not warranted in my opinion.
Right.
Just
so
because
Deion's making it seem like this is easy. Just bring in these all-star transfers, and then we'll just all of a sudden
it doesn't work.
Good. Right.
It doesn't work. And if they are going to be good, it's not going to happen right away.
Right.
It's going to take time, and if they are going to be good, it's going to take a couple of years. I think they go 1-11 this year.
I can
really
see it.
do.
Their schedule, the back end of their schedule is not easy,
Brutal.
and the front end isn't that
Brutal.
easy either. Chris, what are your thoughts?
Absolutely the same way, Coach. I looked at that, and I'm not sold on Deion. He talks a big game. And
he's a great recruiter. I'll give him that. He's a showman.
But they have 60 new players.
Right.
They had the college football's maybe worst defense ever last year. Gave up 44 points a game. They might have some more talent, but like Mark said, it's going to take some time. You just can't fix a defense like that and turn around in 1 year. And like you said, look at the schedule. So I would two wins tops.
Okay.
2 wins
tops.
tops.
2 wins tops.
Yeah.
All right. How about the Sun Devils or the Stanford Cardinal? Any thoughts on either one of those teams? Probably not going to be a very good season for
neither one of those teams. But they're going to be right around that number. I think that.
Yeah, both with new coaches, I believe, too. So
yeah, Kenny Dillingham with Arizona State and Stanford. I don't know what the hell.
Some Taylor or something.
Yeah. So not much to offer with them.
Yeah.
With
So
those
all right,
teams.
Pac-12 best bets. Coach and I are both on the Washington Huskies. Chris, is that your best bet too?
No, my best bet was Coach Prime under his win total.
Oh, okay.
No doubt.
Okay.
Is that allowed?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, and I wanted to tell you guys too, just because we were talking about it. They were talking about Washington State, and I can't find the damn thing now, but it was they've won. They've been to 7 straight bowl games, and they said that was one of the few the second out of the Pac-12. They had the longest streak besides I think it was Oregon. So I just thought that was kind of interesting because nobody talks about them.
Right. So, well, I mean, they had a little run there when Mike Leach was there. So, but that program, you feel sorry for teams like that.
Yeah,
now they're going to lose their rivals,
right.
and they're kind of just them and Oregon State are in the middle of nowhere. Pullman and Corvallis are hard places to get to, and most people don't want them in their conference. And now the rest of these schools are just leaving them high and dry.
I just wonder, 5-10 years from now, when we'll be sitting around talking and say, remember when that school had football?
Yeah, not.
I mean, maybe not these programs, but it's
possible. I mean, that should probably happen at lower level football. Yes, definitely. All right, let's focus on Notre Dame. Let's talk about them. They're obviously the most prominent school that's not in a conference. I don't know why they're not in a conference, but they do whatever they want. And we went from being Notre Dame fans here, potentially to probably never going to cheer for Notre Dame again after our cousin is no longer going there anymore. But anyway, thoughts on the Irish, Coach? They get your guy Hartman transferring
love
in.
the quarterback pickup. That is going to take them to the level they need to be. I thought he was unbelievable at Wake Forest. I loved him. I think he's a play, as you said, for the Heisman. I do. I don't know where his odds are for the Heisman.
I don't know either. It's probably a pretty solid, because he was getting some Heisman traction last year.
I would say that's a good play.
With a program that really isn't known for having great quarterback play or anything like that. Chris, thoughts on the Irish?
I like them. I do. I looking at their schedule. I don't see them winning at Ohio State, but all these other games, and they have USC at home. So I think they're starting to establish themselves again as a national power.
Will they stub their toe? 16-1 on Sam Hartman.
That's the problem with Notre Dame. You look at last year, lost to Marshall and lost to Stanford. I mean, those are inexcusable losses for that team. That shouldn't happen. So
I really don't think they get touched until the Ohio State game, and I'm not certain that they can't win that game. That's not impossible. I think Louisville game will be tough for them. SC will be tough. At Clemson will be tough. I think they'll probably win 8 or 9. But I like them. I think they're going to put points up. I really think their offense. Yes. I would say that's probably. And we jump over to week 0. I absolutely love this game over. It's hung around 50 the whole time. But I'm going to need Navy to score like one time. Do you think that's possible, Coach, this weekend?
I love Notre Dame early. I bet them early, thinking that line would really move up. I thought the total would move up, and I thought the spread would move up, and it hasn't moved.
It's kind of like the Penn State and West Virginia
game.
Been
at 20.5, and people are really all over Navy in this game.
Yeah, we started to see a huge money show on Notre Dame today at work. A lot of Notre Dame. But really? I agree, previously, people were kind of saying, Notre Dame can't stop the option, which I don't know if I agree with that. But, I don't know what to make of this game. You figure if Notre Dame's going to be ready for the triple option, they've had a lot of time to prepare for it here. So having it in an opening game, I know Navy will travel well. Those guys are they're going to be very mature about the travel, and Notre Dame breaking in some new players. I do think that the over's the play here. Chris, any thoughts on this week 1 match or week 0 matchup in Dublin?
I'm going to take Notre Dame giving the points. What is it, 23.5?
20.5.
Oh. Yeah,
that's why it scares
me. On here it said.
Yeah, no, that was what it was. I think that was Brad Powers' number, which would worry me if he's playing 23.5. Yeah.
No, they're going to make a statement week 1 or no, week 0. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Coach, are you going to be on the over in that game, or are you going to play the Irish?
I'm going to play the Irish. I'm going to play the Irish. Just worrying about Navy scoring much and running that option to the clock runs. But Notre Dame just have too many athletes for Navy. They're just too. I think they'll handle that option fine. I really do. I think they'll be ready, and as you said, it's not like they only have a week to prepare. They've been able to prepare for this for weeks and weeks. So I don't know. My opinion, Notre Dame wins the game handily.
When's the last time they opened up with Navy?
Oh boy, I don't ever.
It always seems like you're right. You made a good point there about only having a week to prepare, and then you had the whole offseason.
Right. I look 38-3, 38-6. That kind of number. I think so, but I may be way out of line there.
Before we jump into the week 0 and go through the games, anybody in the under the radar conferences that you guys liked? Anybody stick out or not really?
Nope.
Not really. I like Toledo a little bit in the MAC. I think they're going to be very strong in the MAC. So I'll probably have a bet on Toledo, and then in the American Athletic, I think Texas San Antonio, a plus 375, 4-1 to win that league, I think is a pretty strong bet. So other than that, I didn't see a ton in the smaller conferences. This transfer portal has really hurt those schools a little bit. If they get anybody that's like a star, they just get brought up to the big Power 5 teams, it seems like. But I don't know. Like Chris said, maybe some of these programs won't even have football down the road. All right, we talked about Navy Notre Dame. Let's go through week 0. Any interest in UTEP at Jacksonville State? The Miners now -1 on the road, 53.5 to total. That's kind of flipped. Jack State was favored early, and now UTEP is -1. I don't really have a play on this.
Nothing play.
No play. Chris, I'm assuming you probably don't either.
Good call, man.
Yeah. Ohio State at San Diego State. This game I am interested in. San Diego State 2.5. And the total 49. I like this game under the total quite a bit. Both defenses very strong in this matchup, and both breaking in some new players at the skill position. So I'll be going under in Ohio and San Diego State. Any thoughts on that game?
No play for me.
Okay. UMass at New Mexico State. New Mexico State, it's rare to even read it. -6.5. They're never favored. And the Minutemen, who've been one of the worst programs in sports, but they have gotten a little bit better. They were a little better last year. Total 45. I was hoping I could get a touchdown on this. If it goes back up to 7.5, I'm taking UMass, Coach. Anything there for you?
Not for me. Nope.
Chris?
Sitting out.
No, I can't see UMass going to New Mexico State and even competing in this game. So I'll take the Aggies to win handily.
Okay. Big release by Chris. Yeah. All right. And then in this game, I don't even know how they're going to play this game. Vanderbilt Stadium still looks like a war zone, the end zone on the one side of their field as Hawaii comes to Nashville for this game. 17.5 Vandy is favored by. 55.5 is the total. I don't know what to do with this game because the stadium to this point is not ready for play. That's
because of the.
No, they're adding on to it, and the end zone is like it looks. If you look it up, it's like a rubble. It's like the whole end zone and the stands are demolished. I don't know how they're going to play, or maybe they're just going to have to rope it off. The down on the field part is okay, but the I don't even know if they have a goalpost though at that end. So yeah, it's I don't know what they're going to do. They may have to play at the Tennessee Titans field, but they better make up their mind here really quickly. But
wow, I'm playing Vanderbilt. Even that I like Vanderbilt a little bit. Hawaii is going to be really bad.
You mentioned that like a week or two ago. They're bad.
Hawaii's going to be really bad coming in the time zone travel. I think Vanderbilt, even though I don't like Vanderbilt in the SEC, obviously, I think 3-touchdown victory here for the Commodores.
I would agree.
On 7:30 start kick on week 0.
All right, and then we got 2 more games to talk about. San Jose State at USC. USC 30.5, total 66.5. A lot of people think that's a little low, but Schneid Dog, I believe, is on San Jose State. Is that correct, Coach?
That's correct. He released that as a 5-star lock 4 weeks ago. Said USC's defense is suspect. San Jose State has a really good quarterback, and
over might be a little good.
Yeah,
look at this
game. I was just going to say that, Matt.
He thinks San Jose covers this spread.
Okay. Are you in alignment with Schneid Dog then? I think we should all follow him.
I'm riding.
I'm going to play the over as well. And then the final game on the card, Florida International, the Golden Panthers, visiting the Louisiana Tech Bulldogs. Bulldogs -11, the total 58.5. I'll be going with Louisiana Tech here. They're pretty good at home. I think they squeak out a cover here. Any thoughts on this game, guys?
Sitting it out.
Okay. Chris?
I'll just go.
You're a big LA Tech guy.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, that does it for week 0. And that does it for our first segment here at Bettor's Last Stand. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk briefly about the Tour Championship. Just 30 players left. I had a winner last week at golf. See if we can follow it up this week. And then we're going to get into the AFC and NFC East before we get to Sam in the final segment, talking F1, IndyCar, and NASCAR. It's Bettor's Last Stand. Matt, Coach Chris here with you. We'll be right back.
Reminder, Bettor's Last Stand is for informational and entertainment purposes only. All wagering activity should only be conducted by those 21 years of age or older and within the confines of federal, state, and local law. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, contact 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. You're watching Bettor's Last Stand.
All right, welcome back in. Bettor's Last Stand, episode 50. Segment number 2. Let's not waste any time. It's the Tour Championship Golf. It's final event of the year, which is probably pretty good. It's ran its course, and with these fields not being that good, I'm ready for it to end, to be honest. Scotty Scheffler, this is one of these weird things, and I know, Coach, I don't think you like this, where he starts out 10 under par.
I don't.
So you got to be careful when you're betting this. Be sure you're looking for
with the strokes
or without. Yeah, you got plus 160 Scheffler right now. He starts -10 to lead this tournament, and it is kind of silly. I don't really understand the point of it.
How in the hell is anybody going to catch him?
Yeah,
I mean, Rory came back, I think, last year from 5 down, I think, to start. But Then nobody's catching Scheffler unless Hovland gets red hot.
Yeah,
or Rory,
in a 30-man field, it's even less likely. I mean, it's just not going to happen. When you have 140 guys, then maybe somebody does have an incredible 4 days and can go super low. But this just seems like there's not a lot of value out there.
It's hard.
I thought maybe guys between 5 and 6 back would be the absolute furthest back that you could ever come from. I thought Rahm, if his game was a little bit better, but plus 750, I'm not going to be betting him. Max Homa, I thought he could go very low, but it's going to take a miraculous effort to be able to track Scheffler down. And it also means Scheffler's got to come back to the field. Rory McIlroy, plus 345. I can't bet that, and I don't like him, and I don't think he'll win anyway. But yeah, I'm with Coach. I don't see anybody being able to beat Scheffler. Coach, do you?
No, unless Victor stays red hot.
Yeah, Hovland maybe.
I mean, that's I sure hope not Rory.
Yeah.
But there are a couple bets that I like that I would play and I would recommend. I think Xander Schauffele will finish in the top 5.
Yeah,
I like that play a lot. I think he's really playing well. And then I don't usually bet this guy because I don't have very good luck with him. I think Tommy Fleetwood will finish in the top 10.
Okay.
Those are two of my favorite plays of the Tour Championship.
Okay. And I like Matt Fitzpatrick to be a top 10.
Okay.
And I like I thought Max Homa probably a top 5 because I wanted to bet him to win, but it's just going to be tough. I just don't think he can make up that many shots. So probably going to go with Homa and Fitzpatrick. Fitzy for top 10 and Homa for a top 5.
Okay.
And that's really all I can recommend because it's just...
It's very hard.
It's skewed so much for the guy to maintain the lead. So, I don't know. Not one of my favorite events, to say the least.
No, I'm betting on it, so to keep my interest a little bit, but I do not like this format at all.
Well, man, I got, let's see, Patrick Cantlay, top 10, and I'm going to take Rory as a top 5 only because of all the strong dislike you have for him, and you talk a lot of crap on him. So
he sucks, Chris.
I'm just going to pull for him. Just because.
Why would you root for him?
I like him.
Oh God.
Yeah, I've faded him every week. He's beat me up a little bit this year.
I'm just saying it for bragging rights. Okay. There's no money involved.
Well, good. I'm glad you picked him because maybe he'll fall apart. But, all right, let's move on to the NFL. What everybody wants to talk about. It's the AFC East. I don't know, Chris. The more I look through this division, the more I feel like this division could be very good, or it could underwhelm greatly. The Bills worry me a little bit. Now they're not getting a whole lot of hype, which I think I was talking to Tom Ames at Rough and Rowdy, and he seems to be pretty happy they're not getting a whole lot of the spotlight. But I don't know. They just don't look right. Something just looks off with them. I don't know. I don't know if it's a chemistry thing. And do you guys notice any of that? You got any worries?
I don't have
Bills?
a strong feel for them. I mean, obviously they're going to be in contention, and but I don't have them picked to win that division because of what you're talking
about. Team total 10.5. Coach, your thoughts on the Bills?
Oh, I still like them. I still think they're
on paper. I think they're great.
Yeah, but you have a.
I don't know. It just something about them just seems a little bit vulnerable to me. I don't know if it was because of last year. It's the way it ended. I don't know. I mean, I still think they're the best team in that division, and I think that they're right now they're about 1.5 plus 150, 120 somewhere in there. To win it, I don't know if I can bet that number, but I would pick them to win this division. But I don't know. 10.5 on the win total. What do you guys think there? Over, under? Any thoughts?
I like that over. I'm playing the Bills over their total.
Chris?
Let me find where I have that, Matt. I believe I have the Bills. What is it again?
10.5.
I got them over. I got
them, and I thought they were right in 10 to 12 range. So for me, I think they're going to be good. But I don't know. That Stephon Diggs worries me sometimes. He seems like a real pain.
He seems prima donna.
Yeah,
typical wide receivers.
Yeah, talk about other prima donnas. You got Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins. Is your mic?
Yeah, I don't know what.
Oh, that's because that's loose. There you go. Okay.
Is that good?
Talking there.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go. Yep. All right, yeah, the Dolphins. Everyone's high on them. I'm not so much. Quarterback worries me. I don't like the coach. I think they got some great offensive talent. I'm going to be betting a lot of their games over. 9.5 is the win total. Their odds to win the division are plus 350. Coach, what do you think about the Fins?
Same way. I'm going to take them under their total.
Okay, Chris.
And that, what is that again? I haven't
9.5.
I haven't going over. I have been 10-7. Like you said, they have some explosive players on offense. Obviously, Tua's health is a major concern. So,
yeah,
but they're going to be good. They got Bradley Chubb on defense, and I think they have Jalen Ramsey too. But
yeah, he may be hurt, but yeah, no, he's. Yeah, so, I mean, I think they're all right, but I don't know. This Mike McDaniel
don't contend,
guy,
but I'm not impressed by him.
Not impressed either. All right, let's go to New England. This team is taking a lot of understeam. Everybody's saying there's no chance that they can win 7 games, and that's why I'll be taking them over. Because whenever someone says Bill can't do it, he usually does. I don't love this team, though. The roster I don't think is very good at all.
No.
Thought their schedule was somewhat favorable for them, but they're gonna have a tough start. They got Philly and then Miami, both those at home, and then they play the Jets on the road, and then at Dallas. So I think they might be starting out 2-2 or 1-3 at the very best. But
I have them 0-4.
Yeah, I think they'll beat Dallas. I think they'll beat Miami probably, but those would be, and maybe the Jets. I don't know. I could see them doing all right. Coach, what do you think?
The X factor, Bill Belichick. I'm playing him over the total.
I agree. Chris?
No, they're under. 6 wins tops.
Oh, okay.
No, okay. I'm just looking at their schedule. I just they got the toughest schedule, at least on this. The ranking they were given before the season,
yeah.
But, so I don't want it, take that for what it's worth. But no, I'm not high on them at all.
Those schedule rankings always amaze me. It's like you look at them and they're I think they're more viable in college because in NFL these teams can turn around so quick. Like just because this team sucked last year, they might be good this year, or vice versa.
I had 2 stats I want to read to you guys, and this, I guess, based on this was 2022. It said that of the 10 teams that were predicted to have the hardest schedules last year, only 2 went to the playoffs, and of the 7 teams that actually had the easiest schedules, or 6 went to the playoffs. So, do with that what you want. But
it changes quickly in the NFL. So. If you have a hunch on a team that was bad last year, play them to win their division or the conference, and you could make some coin. So, all right, we're mixed on the Patriots. Coach and I like the over. Chris on the under.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then the Jets, the team that they can't stop talking about on TV. Aaron Rodgers obviously makes them better on offense. Mm-hmm. I didn't think this team was that good last year. I thought their defense was kind of a fraud. They talked about how they had a Super Bowl caliber defense. It's just a bad offense. Everybody wanted to blame Zach Wilson. I think Garrett Wilson's a really good receiver. I think their offense will move the ball pretty well. But I don't love this team. I think they fall right around the 9.5 win total, right between around 8 and 10 for me. Chris, what are you thinking on Rodgers and the Jets?
I absolutely love the Jets.
Whoa,
love the Jets.
Why? They got Dalvin Cook now too, right?
They got Cook, Michael Carter, Breece Hall. In that the receiver you just
do you think
mentioned,
that Breece Hall is going to be hurt for a while?
Well, he could
because they signed
they're
Cook?
Still, and they got Alan Lazard, who he played with.
Yeah, no, I mean,
and I think their defense is
Rodgers is going to be motivated. Do you really? Did you think they were good last year?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
And then Sauce Gardner. Then they drafted that Will McDonald kid that I think he's an edge rusher that they said
from Iowa State.
Yes,
he probably was betting on games.
Yeah, well, he very well could have been. But I just think there's like a new breath of fresh air with Rodgers. And
wow,
I agree.
You and Mike Greenberg.
Everybody's the talk of him it's getting tiring already.
Yeah,
because it's nonstop.
What do you think of the coach, Salah?
I like him.
Okay.
I like him. I mean, I like him better than the Dolphins coach. I'm not even a big fan of that Bills coach, but no, I have them at 12, so they're going over. Right. And I think before you even ask me that's my
your best bet. I already wrote it down.
Okay,
Coach, your thoughts on the Jets?
Bet.
Well, I've already bet Joe Madden that the Jets were going to go under their win total, so I'm sticking with it. It worries me they got Dalvin Cook though.
Is that 9.5 win total? Is that what you're at?
Yeah, that worries me. They got Dalvin Cook. She must have known something when she made that bet with me. I got a feeling I might be sending her a T-shirt.
All right, so AFC East best bets. Chris, we just went over his. It'll be the Jets over. Mine is the Patriots over. Coach, what is yours?
I'm gonna go with the Jets under.
Okay.
So Chris and I got 2 head-to-head bets. We have
what was the other one from last week?
Ole Miss.
No, it was 2 weeks ago. Ole Miss and Miss State. Yeah.
Ole Miss.
Yeah. Big one. All right, let's jump into the NFC now. Another team that people can't stop talking about, the Dallas Cowboys. I just cannot understand how every year people think this team is going to be good.
I agree.
It is exhausting. Yeah. And if you watch these games, you're stupid if you think this team is good. Plus 170, and even their fans will tell you that if they're honest. Plus 170, they're second choice behind the Eagles to win this division. They should be about plus 770, in my opinion. I think this team wins between 6 and 10 games. I think their coach is absolutely horrible. Yeah. I think their quarterback is absolutely horrible. Tony Pollard's very good. CeeDee Lamb's pretty good. I like Michael Parsons is awesome. I would bet him to be Defensive Player of the Year or something. But I absolutely love this under 10.5. I think it's stealing money. I don't see any chance this team wins 11 games. Coach,
I'm right with you. I've never liked the Cowboys. I thought Ezekiel Elliott was one of the. Yeah. I know he's gone, but he was one of the most overrated players in the last 2 or 3 years. I don't like Dak Prescott.
No, I agree there.
I think they choke in big games. They can't win a big game.
McCarthy,
They can't. They can't win a big game. They underachieve every year. I like them under too, man.
Yep. Chris?
I'm not on Dallas at all. Okay. And in this division too, I thought it was interesting. There has not been a
repeat winner.
Since 2004.
Yeah,
that was the Eagles.
If Jalen Hurts doesn't get hurt, I think this probably will be a repeat winner. I just don't see any way around that.
I totally agree.
We'll talk about Philly.
However, I think it was 6 times, I think it was in the past 15 years that a team that finished last in that division won it the following year. Right. So, and I think there's a lot of parity in this division. I
there
really
could
do.
be, but I tell you what, it may have 2 of the worst coaches in the NFL in it. So that's Big Mike is terrible.
Big Mike, right?
And then
Riverboat.
Yes, absolutely awful. All right, let's talk about the Giants. Giants had a pretty solid season last year. I thought Brian Daboll did a really good job with the offense, finally getting Danny Dimes to play and move the ball a little bit. Not so sure about how good their roster is. I thought they got a lot out of a little last year. I think the teams are going to be a little bit more attentive when they play them this year. I don't love them. Their total's 7.5. I think they could win between 5 and 8 games. It's going to be a pass for me, Coach. What are you thinking about the Giants?
Here's an interesting stat about the Giants under Dave. What's his name?
Brian Daboll.
Brian Daboll. They're 14-5 against the spread. Remember that.
That's a good sign.
14-5 against the spread. Now, does that turn into wins? No, but it turns into money.
Right.
And turns into money. So I'm a little bit like you, Matt. I like the Giants a little bit, and I do like him, but I think they're right around that total.
I think that'll be right in that range.
Right, Chris, on that total.
Chris, what do you say about the Giants?
I have them going over, Matt. I mean, they have a pretty favorable schedule. Although I'm and I don't even think you guys are either. I'm not a big Danny. What the hell is his name?
Daniel Jones.
Yeah, Daniel Jones. I mean,
I'll give Dave credit. He got a lot out of him.
He threw 15 touchdowns last year.
But he ran a bunch. He ran like 8 or something. I think the guy actually. He reminds me of the kind of guys that San Francisco would get. If you plug him in the right spot, he can do okay for you.
Right. Although, but I still think they're going to win 10 games. So
wow, 10! Yeah. Holy shit!
Well, they won 9 last year.
Chris, you got some. I know, but.
All right, we're going up, baby.
Chris with some bold ones. If you want to do some alternate totals, I like this, Chris. These are strong opinions.
I went through every fucking schedule here, man.
Great, good. This is what we need. Breaking it down. All right, so remember that. Chris and Giants at 10 wins. All right, let's move on to the defending NFC champion, the Eagles. Obviously, the clear-cut favorites to win this division, minus 115, minus 120, whatever you can find. 11.5 the win total. I thought the Eagles last year, they impressed me. They lose both their coordinators. I don't know what that means. It might be good. It might be bad. I think their schedule's favorable, and I think that they just win 12 games on accident. I think they probably go over this. I don't love it, but I'm going to be recommending the Eagles over 11.5. Coach, what do you think about the Birds?
Don't see them losing a beat.
Yep.
I think Jalen Hurts is awesome. I think he is so good. And I see them winning 12 or 13 for sure.
And if he doesn't, do you agree? If he doesn't get hurt, they win the division for
Oh,
fun.
yeah, I think they'll make another run like they did. I think they're going to be really good.
Yep, I thought the only thing that was interesting to me, I thought their schedule right after the bye was interesting. Not that it's going to matter that much. But KC, Buffalo, Frisco, that'll show what they're made of. But I think this team is very stable, just well-rounded. And I don't see any hiccups in their game. Chris, what do you think?
They're going to win this division. I have them at 11-6. So I don't know if does 11 put them over the total?
No, 11 will put them under by a half.
And it was that middle of the schedule, even prior to the bye week. The got Cowboys and the Dolphins and Jets. I mean, I know you're not sold on those teams, but
Dallas, I can bet the over in those games. They're going to neither team stopped each other much last year.
Right.
I just don't. I mean, I just think the Sirianni guy's so much better of a coach than Mike McCarthy. I mean, and his quarterback is so much better than Dak Prescott.
I've never been a Dak fan either.
If anybody watched that guy play in college, I could tell you that he wasn't going to be very good.
But you know what, Tim? You talk about that, and in most successful teams, like Super Bowl, you can pair the coach with the quarterback. Andy Reid, Mahomes. Belichick and Brady, but Prescott and McCarthy don't really. No, that's not going to work.
That's barely enough to get you one playoff win.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. So best bets in the. Sorry,
Commanders.
How could I forget the Redskins?
Riverboat.
Ron Rivera, this guy's out to fucking lunch. Last year he didn't know the team was eliminated from the playoffs when they were playing a game. He looked like a buffoon. A lot of unrest in Washington. They did get a new owner. That guy looked like he was a piece of work. Did you see him in the booth the other night?
Yeah.
Oh boy, he's a character. I don't. The Commanders. I really want this team to be good again. I'm happy for their fans that they got a new owner, but I just don't see it happening with Rivera at the helm. Too much uncertainty here. I think they win between 5 and 8 games.
Finish last in the division.
And maybe could beat out Dallas, but that's about it.
Well, it said that they've started 14 different quarterbacks since 2017, and I want to root for Sam Howell. He's their starter, but I hope he does well. I hope he can be a quality starter for them. But it's too iffy. So I see them finishing last as well.
Yeah, I just don't love Rivera. He's running an operation on offense. It's very like Jurassic period. It's just old and Sam Howell is tough though. He's a competitor. All right, best bets in the East. What are we going with? Chris is on the Giants.
Yes,
I already know that.
The Giants.
Coach, what was
Eagles over their total?
Okay, and Coach is on the Eagles. And what the hell was mine? I don't even.
You ought to go watch games with JP.
Oh, he wants to say fly. Eagles fly. Oh, no, mine was Dallas. Mine was best bet.
Dallas under.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
We're all winning that one.
Oh, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that can't be. That can't be good. Couple of other things here before we wrap this segment up and we get ready for Sam coming on here in about 5 minutes. Couple of bad beats. If you didn't see these, Patriots, Packers. Coach, did you have anything in that game that got stopped?
I did not.
With 10:29 to go. So if you're not familiar with the rules, folks, games like that, you usually have to go 55 minutes in most books. They had that bad injury with 10:29 remaining in the game. You had a nice over already. The game was already over the total, but it was a refund because they stopped it with 10 minutes and 29
Unbelievable.
seconds.
What do you guys think of this now? Is this going to be the new trend?
Oh, absolutely. The DeMar Hamlin thing, shut it down. Anything. It'll happen across all sports in all levels.
I mean,
a serious injury that everybody.
But that doesn't prevent him from the greatest health care in the world. I mean,
yes.
Okay, it's. But
this is our society, Chris. We're not very tough anymore.
And I saw somebody praising Bill Belichick as he suggested that, and I know it was preseason, but
honestly, Bill probably just wanted to get the fuck out of there.
Exactly. Oh, yeah. Exactly. It's just going to add to another thing that's just going to add to our frustration with this league when not serious injuries and it's funny, and every guy gets down on their knees and they pray and they pretend to be sad and it just no, I mean they're sad for the guy.
Who do you think they're praying to?
They just want to look important.
Yeah. So that was a bad beat. If you had that over, it sucks when that happens, and especially it wasn't even that. I mean, the guy got hurt, but it was a bad injury. But those things happen all the time. I mean, they didn't stop the game when Joe Theismann's leg got snapped into a twig.
Right.
That's just soft society. And then in baseball, if you had this game under the Orioles and A's the other night, 8.5 was the total. It was 2-2 starting the 10th inning, and the Orioles get 5 spot to put it over.
Unbelievable.
It just rips your
Did
heart
that
out.
cost you guys?
I didn't know. I actually
didn't have
had the Orioles in the game, so it worked out okay for me. But but I'm going to tell you, I have got to go if I can ever find time and figure out what the road teams are in these extra inning games. They're winning at a rapid rate.
Yeah, they are.
They're winning. They're covering reverse run lines on the things. It's like that momentum of knocking that first guy across, and it just leads to big innings. You see it almost every night. It's incredible, and I haven't seen anybody do any research on it. And I know it takes some time, so I'm going to have to do that. And then one soccer one. This one actually tops the baseball. Swindon Town, they were plus 350 on the money line against Wrexham, which is that team Ryan Reynolds owns that most people would watch on the Netflix documentary thing. Swindon led 4-1 at one point. They led 5-3 in the 90th minute, and then by the end of stoppage time, it was 5-5.
How much stoppage time?
It was a good many dozen minutes or so, but I mean nonetheless, you can't give
5-5.
Yeah, that's
you can't give up that many goals, but it's just lower level soccer, and it can be very frustrating. And then in NFL, Ravens 24-game win streak comes to an end. I actually had the Ravens plus 1.5, so I ended up winning that somehow anyway. I don't know how, but so that record is done. The Yankees, again, as we said, going for their 10th straight loss, first time since 1913. And then a couple of things that were interesting. Betway reported suspicious betting patterns when on a game last spring. West Ham United midfielder Lucas Paqueta to get booked in the match back in March, and the EPL is investigating along with Betway. So I don't know what was tipped on that. If he said to his buddies, like, "I'll go get a card tomorrow" or what, but you're going to see more of this out there as betting becomes more prevalent, and we obviously don't want any of that to happen, but I've never been on the right side of any of those tips like that, but I don't know. But this one we were on the right side of, and I wish that we could have recorded back in the Pine Room in 2021 when we suspected Iowa State was shaving points or something was off with them. But their running back, Jarrell Brock, has left the program after being charged in the investigation by the state of Iowa. He was betting during those games that he was playing in, and then this guy, the defensive lineman Isaiah Lee, he was betting against his own team
for Iowa,
for Iowa State.
Oh, Iowa State.
He bet Texas Texas money line in the game in 2021, and according to the affidavit from the Story County Court, the Cyclones ended up winning the game 30-7.
Well, that's one thing, betting on your team to win, but betting on them to lose, that's
yeah. So. Yeah, probably going to see more of this, but the state of Iowa is a fucking mess right now with these guys. The programs, they could be fade material.
Wow.
You could see some guys defecting quick off.
I just saw the defensive lineman for Iowa, or offensive lineman, just got suspended for the year.
Okay, yeah, they're going to keep coming out because
it's going to be an ongoing thing. I mean,
it is, but this is what is good though about regulation. They're catching this stuff, so they're not seeing like years ago we wouldn't know any difference. So yeah, if you're gonna break the rules, I mean, how dumb can you be? Like, I mean, my goodness, betting on your own team.
Matt, the Pirates just scored 2 runs, 6-4 now.
There you go.
And the White Sox tied the Mariners in the bottom. So if it holds true with the visiting team covering the spread, then hopefully my Mariners will come through.
Let's hope.
Yep.
All right.
Okay.
That's going to do it for this segment. We're going to be back, talk some racing with Sam, get his thoughts on the MLB and the football this week. It's Bettor's Last Stand. Matt, Coach Chris with you. We'll be right back.
Reminder, Bettor's Last Stand is for informational and entertainment purposes only. All wagering activity should only be conducted by those 21 years of age or older and within the confines of federal, state, and local law. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, contact 1-800-GAMBLER. That's 1-800-426-2537. You're watching Bettor's Last Stand.
All right, welcome back in Bettor's Last Stand, show number 50. We're sponsored by IC Cab, our friends, 304-232-1313, or download the IC Cab app. Champ swears by it. He had the number memorized the other night, and that's really tough for him to memorize a number like that. So keep calling our friends at IC Cab, or jump on that app, arrange your ride today when you're all stumbling drunk after the after some Pine Room loggers around town or wherever you may be. Actually, they'd even take you up to Sam's neck of the woods. They travel the entire area.
I saw one today in the south end of Moundsville. They're everywhere.
All over. So get on the horn. Get IC Cab on your phone today. Arrange your ride this weekend. We appreciate IC Cab, sponsor of all the stuff at the Pine Room Studios. Sam joins us from Upper St. Clair, fresh off a Bucko defeat today. Yeah. Some things never change. Sam, how's things going this weekend or this week so far for you?
Things are good. We just had an active shooter in Pittsburgh. He's dead. It's raining here, so yeah, things are positive.
So did he kill anybody, or did he just get killed?
No, just himself, I think.
Oh, okay. Well,
they showed. I don't even know how to say this. They showed a picture of him on the news, and he had a Starberry tank top on. Remember when Stephon Marbury had his?
Oh, that was
from Stephen Barry.
Stephen Barry.
Stephen Barry's the best store ever.
It was. It really
yeah, you
was.
knew it wasn't going to last. It was too good.
Yeah. But yeah, things are good.
Bankrupt. That's how quick they were giving away those sweatshirts. I think your dad had a whole stable full of stuff.
Yeah.
I had a Marshall number 31 football jersey all stitched. I probably got it for $15.
Yeah, can't get wrong with Stephen Barry's. That stuff was wonderful. All right, Sam, let's get your thoughts on MLB. Anything sticking out this week other than the Pirates? Obviously, the Cardinals suck. The Yankees suck. Mariners playing good baseball. What are your thoughts on the American League West with the Rangers, Astros, and Mariners? Who's your pick to come out of that division?
Well, the Rangers are kind of sliding, and the Mariners are hot. The Angels are done. Obviously, I tried.
Ever since you put the hat on.
I know, it's me. I'm starting to think everything bad in baseball is because of me. But either way, Matt, it's either the Astros or the Rangers. I don't see the Mariners. I feel like Julio Rodriguez is going to be hurt again.
Yeah,
it's too much of a question mark. But when he's hot, he's hot. But the Rangers slide is concerning.
Definitely. Coach still thinks they'll get the job done. I tend to lean that way. I know the Astros are getting kind of healthy. Maybe they can. I agree it's going to go down to the wire. But I think Seattle gets in the playoffs. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I think they do. They're definitely very good, but I think if they ride on Julio Rodriguez, and if he's, you see these questionable, he's scratched today,
right.
This and that, it's like, all right, I don't want to start seeing that when you need him every day, every at bat, every
game matters. Chris said it earlier. Every game matters from here on out for these teams in contention, except unless you're the Braves or the Dodgers. But all right, let's stay in the American League, the East. Is still tight. O's still have a couple game lead. Rays have righted the ship, so to speak, after the Wander Franco disaster. Yeah. The Blue Jays playing a little bit better right now. Thoughts on the AL East and how many teams are getting in from that division?
I think maybe 2. I don't think 3 could get in.
Yeah,
but it's the Orioles and Rays. I don't think the Blue Jays have a shot. I don't know. That's kind of just where I stand. The other 3 teams have kind of just fallen off so much that it's just a 2-man race at this point.
Yeah, I mean Boston's dropped too many games against bad teams. And they're all right. They're better than New York. But the Yankees, they've packed it in. They're about to lose their 10th game in a row, first time since 1913. So that's never good. Jumping over to the National League, Brewers in a battle here with the Twins, 6-6 in the 10th. Do you see the Brewers winning that division now, or do you think the Cubs still have an outside shot, and do you think the Reds are absolutely done like we kind of do?
Yeah, the Reds definitely seem like that flame they had about a month and a half ago is definitely very low right now. I think the Brewers are probably going to pull away. I really do. I hate to say it. I hate the Brewers so much, but I think it's their division once again.
Yeah, and then how about in the wild card in the National League? Phillies, Marlins, and then actually even a second team, the Cubs now out of the NL Central. What are your thoughts there? Who ends up getting in from those 3 teams?
On paper, the Phillies should get in. They have way better talent than every other team, but obviously we know that just it doesn't work like that in baseball. The Marlins, it'll be tough. Everything would have to be perfect for the Marlins for the rest of the year, I think, for them to get in. I don't know what your thoughts are.
Yeah, I agree. I think I talked to these guys like the Phillies. Their defense worries me, but they are the most talented team. And then I think the Cubs they're viable. If their pitching can hold up, they're playing pretty decent baseball right now. So, yep, lots of excitement to come here in the next few weeks. Like Chris said, every game matters. It's going to be some tight races, and it's going to be very exciting. Football wise, we talked about the AFC and the NFC East. Any thoughts on those two divisions? Do you like the Jets in the East, the Dolphins? Who's your pick in the AFC East? Anybody stand out to you?
With no games played, I love the Bills. It seems like the Bills, they've been together for 3 years now, this core. They've fucked up, they've lost. Now's the time to win, no mistakes. The Jets have too many question marks. The offensive line stinks. And there's just something about the Dolphins. Something about Tua, there's something about their coach.
Yes.
Something about Tyreek, I do not like it. So I have no faith in the Dolphins. And I think the Patriots are just, I don't even know.
Yeah, they're bad on paper. Chris is very
honest.
high on the Jets. I totally agree with you on the Dolphins. The Jets worry me too a little bit because they're getting so much hype.
Yeah. And if you don't have an offensive line, you are not going to be good. You aren't.
Yeah, no. I mean, as good as
You don't have an
Rodgers is,
offensive
got to
line.
press him. Chris, does that concern you at all?
Yes, it does. That was the only
It's the one
concern I really
concern?
had. But
Okay.
I still think that they'll have enough talent to
Yeah.
back me up on that pick.
Yeah, I agree, Sam, though. I think Buffalo on paper, Stephon Diggs, he's got to keep it together and not like fly off the handle and go nuts. And I think they're going to be in good shape. How about jumping over to the NFC? This is a division that I think Coach and I are pretty high on the Eagles. I think Chris is too. I don't see anybody knocking them out of the top spot. But who do you think is a playoff contender out of Dallas, Washington, and the Giants?
It's tough because this is a tough division besides the Eagles. Like if it was just the Cowboys, Eagles, and Commanders, that's a division right there. I mean, that is tough. God, I want the Commanders to be the second place team. I don't know why. I don't really like Ron Rivera, but I hate the Cowboys and I don't like the Giants.
Yeah.
I don't like Daniel Jones. I don't trust him. I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I don't trust Dallas at all. I think McCarthy's terrible. I want the Redskins to be good too, but Ron Rivera holds them back in my opinion, so that worries me. I think Brian Daboll did a pretty good job with a bad roster for the Giants, but we saw in the playoff game against the Eagles, they're not on that caliber of talent wise, so they worry me a little bit. I think it's the Eagles division to win for fun. I don't really see anybody else contending, but we shall see. All right, let's jump into the racing. F1 is back, IndyCar is back, and NASCAR playoffs next week. Final race before the playoffs. First, let's get your observations on last week's race at Watkins Glen. Observations from that one. We discussed a little bit about some of the cars that were going to be good. You had two good calls on some guys that finished in the top three. Just couldn't quite track down old William Byron. Denny Hamlin and Chris Bell both ran really well for you. What were your thoughts on the go bowling at the Glen race?
Yeah, it was good. It's a great race on TV, but it was pretty boring.
Yeah,
I don't know how you felt about it, but
yeah, it was one of the more boring road races.
The cars we talked about. Oh yeah, definitely. Like McDowell was quick, but he fucked up on pit road going through all those boxes.
Yep.
I mean, Byron was just the better car. He was so dominant when he got the lead. It was so obvious that if he didn't make any mistakes, he was going to win. So Hendrick definitely showed out. I'm very much looking
and
forward
Elliott
to this
had a
next
car
race.
that could have won too.
Yes, he did.
And he squandered it again. As we head into the playoffs right now, you have 13 guys that are pretty much locked in. Kevin Harvick's going to make it in on points. Brad Keselowski will make it in on points as well. The 16th spot, Bubba. You got Daniel Suarez. Bubba's got a 29-point lead. Daniel Suarez, Ty Gibbs, Chase Elliott, Alex Bowman. Elliott and Bowman are going to have to win to get in. I think probably maybe even Gibbs would, but I guess not. Maybe if Bubba would be really bad and Gibbs would have a really good run. Thoughts on that? Does Bubba hang on to the 16th position? And can Chase Elliott or Bowman surprise here at Daytona this week?
I think Elliott. I don't know, man. He's had that such a weird year. it's just going to be really, really tough. I think Bubba gets in because of every other circumstance. Like all Bubba needs to do is just make it through the race, I guess, because I think everybody else is going to have so many other things going on that it's just going to be chaos and wrecks and cautions. I think it's going to be quite a yellow flag filled day, unfortunately.
Yeah, I would agree. I think you'll have some guys rolling the dice. Some of these guys on the bubble that are trying to win their way in. I think you're going to see some incredibly interesting strategies. Whether it's no tire stops, 2 tires, whatever, just some odd things I think you'll see happen. And then guys are going to take chances, and you're going to see some really aggressive restarts late in the race, which could lead to a massive amount of wrecks.
Yeah, I think once the first caution goes, that's the flick of the domino. It seems to be how that works on these races.
Here might be the bet of the week. I haven't found this anywhere, but will we have overtime in this race?
Oh, man.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
I'm with you, Coach.
A couple overtimes.
No doubt in my mind.
Yeah, I would agree with that. All right, let's get to a couple of the picks who we like here. Restrictor plate racing, you have so many different guys that can win this. It's wide open. You get really good value. Denny Hamlin around 11-1. You got Logano at 10-1. I don't know. Sam, give me some of the guys you're looking at. And you can get some good prices on some guys this week. That's for sure.
Yeah, a couple of the names I have here are Keselowski, Truex. I have Buescher. And then Busch and Byron. Those are 5 names that I'm like, those are my 5 that I narrow this race down to that I think are going to win. Okay,
I'm with you 100% on Keselowski. I have him in there. I thought his number's starting to worry me a little bit because it's down to like 11-12-1. Coach, who are you looking at?
I'm with Sam on Kyle Busch, but I've been riding him a lot lately. I think he'll. And again, it's going to be a crapshoot whether your guy can miss the big wreck. Yeah. I like Ryan Blaney this week.
So do I.
I really like Blaney. I like Blaney. You have him down, Chris?
No, I have him, and I have Joey Logano, and
I got Logano too.
And it just because Matt had it included in here, my pick. I'm the manufacturer this week in Victory Lane is Ford.
Yeah, I agree with that.
A big pick.
I'm with that too.
They're good. The Penske team, they run strong. I mean, you got Logano and Blaney. Those are going to be pretty strong guys, and Austin Cindric's going to be great.
Yeah, I got him.
He and Eric Almirola are my 2 picks, and then I like Ryan Blaney and Brad Keselowski. Those were the 4 guys that I'll be backing. They're all at least 12-1. Sam, any dark horse guys? Anybody under the radar that maybe could steal one here? Justin Haley, maybe?
I looked at Haley. I looked at Suarez. I just don't know if they're going to make it to the end. I don't. I just think it's going to be that one big crash. It fucks everything up. Everything.
How about Todd Gilliland? I got him. I got a little star by him.
I think he's a top 10 contender, definitely.
Him and Buescher. I think him or Buescher is going to make it to the end in the top 10.
Yep. All right. Let's go over to the open wheel, guys. Coke 400 again at Daytona should be an exciting race as the NASCAR playoffs are going to be.
What time is that, Matt? Is that a
great question?
Night?
I don't know.
I want to say it's a night race.
Is it a night Saturday race?
I believe so. Let me check here.
Last year, it was what day? I'm looking.
You don't have it listed on here. I'll just.
Yeah, Saturday.
Saturday night
at 7. Yep.
Okay.
All right, perfect.
Saturday night racing. All right, good. You got week 0 in college football, and you got this. All right, open wheel. Not a whole lot to talk about as far as F1 goes as we head to the Dutch Grand Prix after the summer break. Anything interest you in this race? Verstappen, obviously the man to beat. Anything you're hearing out of these teams? Anybody that could be making some strides after a few week break, Sam?
I need McLaren to come out of this break in the top 5, both cars. I think it's a waste of a break if they don't. And I also think Fernando Alonso could return to the top 5.
Yeah, good. I think he's probably going to benefit the most from this break. I think he started out the season really, really well, and kind of plateaued in the last few weeks leading up to the summer break. So I agree. I think Fernando. We said all along if it wasn't going to be a Red Bull guy that wins the first race this year, it may be Fernando, but I don't see anybody but Red Bull winning. How about you?
No, Max is going to win. Max or Sergio is going to win. It's the Dutch Grand Prix. Max can't lose that. They're
going to be orange everywhere, and he's going to be fired up, and unless he has a mechanical failure, he wins for sure. All right, let's go over to the Indy cars. It's been a couple weeks since they raced as well, We go to Worldwide Tech in Madison, Illinois. Joseph Newgarden, a defending champion. He's had a great season. And, the championship is pretty much finished. Alex Palou has got a stranglehold on that. Anybody sticking out to you on the Indy circuit this week as they head to WWT?
Yeah, Newgarden's won the last 3. Palou's not great at this track, so I don't really think Palou. He's got a lot going on now, Alex Palou. A lot of weird things behind the scenes of racing. I was just looking at like Dixon, Power. Maybe even a Ray Hall top 10. I can't believe I say that name week after week. It's tough. I think there's going to be either a young winner or a fresh winner this race.
Okay, so it could be somebody under the radar. Will Power led a lot of laps here in the past. He's going to be my pick. But Scott McLaughlin, Pato Award. They have been contenders. Even Colton Herta. I feel like he's run a little bit better recently, but not sure I trust him. As the Brewers look like they just tied that game up 7-7. I'm going to take a shot with Colton Herta, I think, for a top 10. But I'm going to be backing Will Power. Who's your pick to win it?
Scott, the guy that's on the shirt on this hook, Scott McLaughlin. I gotta believe in the Kiwi.
All right, I like it. He's running well, and could be a good weekend for Team Penske with the Daytona guys all going to be strong, and obviously with McLaughlin, Will Power, you're going to have some serious contenders, and even Joseph Newgarden, who is, like you said, defending champion 3 times over. Going to be an exciting race. I believe that's a Sunday. I believe so. I believe so.
And also, Matt, Marcus Ericsson is signed with Andretti next year. I saw.
That's interesting. So he leaves. What is he with Ganassi?
Yep.
Currently. Okay. Yeah. So see how that goes. Never know about guys when they leave a team mid-season, how that's going to work.
Has Jimmy Johnson done anything impactful?
No.
In this? No. Okay, I didn't. He just run around in circles.
He's not even in all the races.
Yeah.
Run around.
One of the drivers he hired this year isn't even on the team anymore.
Yeah. All right, Sam. Anything else in the sports world stand out to you this week before we let you go?
Not much, but just we're getting to the point in the Pirates season where Jarrett and I were texting last night that like we're getting players that we just don't know who they are.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like
coach is always ready for that, and the new bullpen guys come up. You don't know any of them.
It's unbelievable.
No, like the guy they had at third base. That's Vinny. Jared calls him Vinny the Cat.
Why did they sent the other guy down, Triolo? Why didn't they just keep him?
Chris, I don't know. I don't know. I can't even believe that I like.
Probably due for a bonus check or something.
Probably like a $30,000 bonus check.
Yeah. I don't know, Sam. I don't like what I'm hearing out of the Pirates for next year either. It sounds like payroll is going to be slashed, if that's even possible.
Yeah, well, it's like your team that John Angelo said if he wants to sign all these Orioles, he's got to up the prices, and I think their beers are like $19 there. Yeah,
the Orioles are going to do the same thing. They better win something really quick in the next 3 years because it's going to go quick. I don't know. Not real confident in it. It's a shame.
Hey, Sam, Skeens is pitching, in Altoona Saturday?
Yeah, I know. I
2 innings.
I know, but we should pitch in the pros.
Yeah,
there's nothing.
Is there any way he might pitch toward the end of the season or no?
No. I heard Bob Walk said no way.
Okay.
No
chance. They're not starting that timer on him yet, Chris.
No way.
They'll bury him until at least next June. He's not coming.
When they get down 14 games in the division.
And what's the odds that he'll be his first start will be at PNC Park coming off of a losing streak?
Absolutely,
because they'll be returning home off of a bad road trip. Yeah. And they'll be looking to boost the crowd. So
probably a good T-shirt giveaway too.
Yeah, free shirt Friday. He'll toe the rubber at PNC.
Dollar dog night.
Yeah. All right, Sam. Thanks as always for the great analysis on all the sports this week. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Sam.
All right, talk to you, fellas. Later.
All right. Have a good night.
All right, that's Sammy P from Upper St. Clair. That's going to do it for us, guys. Any last thoughts on week 0 or any of the things going on? NFL preseason, Chris?
No, I asked Mark last night or 2 nights ago, why is it week 0? Not just because there's just few games.
Because they just started rolling back to where the play date was.
So then maybe next year, then it could be week -1.
I think it still
then-
is minus
It
one.
just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
But anyway.
So you think it'd just be week 1 and just add at the end?
right? Or 1A and 1B, whatever.
Well, there's only a few teams that play.
I
That's
know,
stupid.
but-
Good luck to everyone,
Yeah.
folks.
Yes.
Win some money.
Yep. And be sure and check us out on our Football Friday show, noon to 3 on the Watchdog. Listen up. We're on 7 hours a week as usual. And check out all our other stuff. Enter that Morgan Wallen contest. We got the Duggars Saucy Spread Challenge. Tons going on in the Pine Room. We appreciate you sticking with us. That's going to do it for us at Bettor's Last Stand. And follow us on social media at BLS_PRP and at the Pine Room Studios to enter that contest on Instagram. Have a great weekend. Good luck to everybody. And we'll see you next week on Bettor's Last Stand.